Alright, I'm trying to get Mountain Blade up and running, but it's out of sync. There's actually some shit I was watching. What were we watching? Where's ya boy? Ya boy. We're 2 minutes into a 4-minute Fleekazoid. Fleekazoid's not bad. I don't mind Fleekazoid. Terms of slot, land claims, and there was something else that came out. Was it Now Media? I think it was Now Media, to be honest. Jesus Murphy. Fleekazoid.
Sometime.
That was the very last question.
I'm so confused. Did I not sync my shit? I was working yesterday. I didn't sync it yet. I did sync it, didn't I? I guess I didn't sync the game. I turned down when I was playing it earlier. Shit. Guess that's on hold for a day. I'm not going into my guest room / office today. Fuck that. My schnoz has been bugging me the last couple days. Where the fuck is Far? Oh my god, I'm just so not used to seeing this. I mean, I guess, can I show you? You're not stuck in fucking the Twilight Zone. There we go. Yeah. Hmm? No. Oh, the games, oh, they released it already. No, they haven't. Okay, I'm so confused. I don't understand. No licenses. I'm so confused. Is somebody discussing this? They're playing the demo. Howdy, y'all. Once again, it's so many of you guys playing Far West, so you can't thank you enough. Alas, all good things must come to an end, and we also turn to our dev case to create even more content for you to enjoy next time. This was the very first time y'all were able to actually review the game, and dang. This is insane. This is insane. Next time will be even better. Tried out the demo, 53% of which never played Far West before. Only 9% of y'all risked nightmare difficulty. I only got to play 3 times, bro. I didn't even get to get to that point. 9% of players would recommend Far West to a friend. 10k new members on the community Discord. This is just a proof of concept so they can get more money from a fucking funder. But that's good. And it's a good concept. And the results of our feedback form. Game, combat, mission pacing, progress pacing, difficulty, art style, musics. Ew. Is it called musics because it considers the in-game built-in music as well as the music that they advertise in the game? Because that's fucking retarded. That's gross. That's a gross metric. But at the same time, they gotta make money somehow. But that's alright. If the trade-off is we have to have some type of weird in-game built-in advertisements as opposed to us fucking pay to play, that'd be nice. It's now time for us to delve through a gigantic pile of feedback and ideas you submitted. Read everything and come back with Far West that's been boosted by your ideas. Also, we are late on the February bullet in Texas. The Western. Perfect. As you can imagine, we've been crazy busy with the next fest, but we'll aim to get this out next week. Wunderbar. Nice, nice. Good game. Keep it up. Only do paid cosmetics. Don't go. Don't go pay. Very nice. Okay, so we can't play the game anymore. No licenses. What do you mean by no licenses? Like, do they need licenses? So uninstall the demo? Keep the demo files. Fuck it. Alright, so that's a wash. I haven't played Monster Hunter in fucking so long. There's a lot of people dedicated to that Monster Hunter shit. I mean, it is pretty cool, but I mean, I kind of want to play it. I mean, visually it's stunning, and the gameplay is fantastic. There's really nothing bad to be said about it. Are there a lot of negative reviews? There's quite a bit. I mean, in terms of it's sort of pay to play-ish, I guess. Let's see. Let's see. I reviewed it? No, I have not reviewed it. How much DLC is there? Holy fuck. Mr. Iceborne. Okay, it's just my Iceborne. Yeah, there's the Wilds and Iceborne, right? There's just DLC collection. So, Jesus Christ. What the fuck is this shit? DLC. Watch out the world plus the Iceborne DLC. This is what you're looking for. The two expansions. Mila Jovovich was in the movie. Buy the fucking expansion. $70. That's still a little. I mean, it's not super expensive. It's pretty expensive. It's basically another game for an expansion price. You can expand these nuts. As Philion said, fucking stick my cock and balls in a vacuum. Something like that. The funniest thing I heard in my life. Stick my fucking cock and balls in a vacuum. Specialized tools, palette codes. Nobody cares. Blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. Okay, I was just losing my train of thought. We're trying to go to the reviews here. Reviews, reboot. There we go. What is this? Very. I don't need a fucking graph, bro. Give me the fucking negative reviews. 60K. That's pretty low. 60 out of 500,000 players, only less than 100,000. 60,000 say have negative reviews. This is someone who bought the game exclusively to play co-op multiplayer with my friends. Why the negative review? From my experience so far, this is a single-player game that is co-op compatible, not a true co-op game. The co-op aspect is simply not enjoyable because you don't really get to experience the game together with your friends. While the game does not encourage being carried or boosted, which is undesirable, which is understandable, it does so at the expense of the actual co-op experience. Most quests only allow your friends to join halfway. Cutscene at the end or after a boss battle, you're basically forced to complete the quest alone. The thing that really annoys me is that I cannot play the entire game from start to finish together with my friends. This makes the co-op experience frustrating and difficult, especially if you and your friends are starting out. You're forced to grind the game individually before you can meaningfully play together. Seriously hate the fact, blah, 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 blah. The good, blah, blah. The game itself is vast, a lot of to explore in terms of crafting and story. It is very grind heavy, and the battles are challenging and engaging. I could definitely see Souls players enjoying this, as the boss movements and combat design strongly resemble Dark Souls. Yeah, blah blah blah. Being extremely bad experience. Boo boo hoo. Yeah, cat people. If you're looking for a game, can enjoy. Yada yada. Movement is so janky when I try to practice the move set and notice my character desperately fighting against me because he wants to hit. What do you say? The big ass totem pole for this face. I've always been a fan of extremely fluid movement, so I wish Monhun at least. Okay, I'm gonna stop reading it. Monhun. Good game, but it's hard to get into, especially if you bought the game for multiplayer purposes. Game is structured like you should be able to do constant multiplayer, but multiplayer is tedious and annoying to do. Yeah, it is hard to actually link up with other people. So you have to think about it as like contracts. So you have to like you're trying to get on a fucking monster hunting contract with other people. You know, if you think about it that way, then it's kind of, but at the same time, it's fucking stupid. It's like a real life contract. You only want competent people with you, and you're gonna vet everyone. You're gonna be an asshole to people who come up to you and go, "Hey, you want to go out and do a contract together?" And be like, "I don't know. Are you retarded?" And they're like, "Yeah." And you're like, "Okay, well, no." In a game where anyway, it's mostly a bunch of autists and anime or you know, anyway, pros, cute cat and pig. Cons, absolutely impossible to play co-op. Most insane system I've ever seen in the game where you cannot play through the story co-op unless you have already completed it. So, or whatever I paid for it. Essay Jogo. Yeah, this is just another. Just reading all this makes me again realize this is just another commitment. Why did I reinstall this? It is the visual stunning though. It's my day off. There's nothing to do today here. Okay, didn't know. Anyway, let's go to something relevant. Metal Gear. Is this the newest one? Is this the one that he's shitting on? Yeah, we don't need. We're good. We're good on that. Met ratio.
Times in life, things exceed our expectations. Windrose has exceeded my expectations. Ubisoft has also met my expectations because I expected them to keep doing some bullshit. Give me some. Before 2020, Ubisoft made some of the funnest slop on the market. After 2020, they make some of the funnest headlines on the market. Half of these issues are because Ubisoft's chud CEO and his stupid fucking chud son won't leave the company. I don't know what that word means, but people on the internet use it, so now I'm gonna use it. Ubi Chud lost $1 billion last year, and you know what their plan is to save the company? We ain't changing shit! It's just like when I'm down 30 grand in the casino. Do I throw in the towel when I'm out 30? No. I double down till I'm out 60. Then I double down till I'm out 120. Do I stop there? Did Icarus stop? Did that penguin stop? Did the Titanic stop? No, I keep doubling down because I got double down syndrome. And once you've lost the car, the house, and a few franchises you forgot you even owned, you split the house into 5 crack houses and sell 25% of the crack palace to the Chinese. We've left the metaphor. Ubisoft is splitting their franchises into separate but equal houses, not in a racist way. A lot of people are giving incredible analysis as to the business pros and cons of this move, but you only need to know one thing. For Honor and Riders Republic got put into the same house. Fuck you, For Honor fans. They say they did this to put the best talent with each property, which is why, in the least nepotistic way possible, they kicked out the guardian of the franchise for the CEO's chud son. And let me be clear, fuck that other guy too. He's suing Ubisoft for pushing him out. I should be suing him for letting AC Shadows happen. The only thing he guarded was the catering cart. Allegedly. Alright, I made that one up. One more thing. This image just raised graphics card prices by another $100. You're welcome. Getting back to the houses for a second, if I had to guess which one is gonna be the most successful, I'm betting on House 6. The house of all the fired Ubisoft devs that go on to make Goaties, Stray, Dispatch, Expedition 33, my cock. game that's coming out soon. These former UB devs are cranking out the quality slop. They're getting recognized by the French president as the most French shit he's ever seen. And he's about to see a lot more because Ubisoft's big plan to succeed by 2028 is firing everybody. They're bragging, oh, attrition has never been low. There's no one left to fire. Hey, morale in the office is at all-time highs. Yeah, just look at all these smiling faces. Ubisoft employees went on strike over all this shit, but no one cares. People care more about playing as the shit I mix into my crack than this strike. Ubisoft loves to constantly remind people that they can take away their games, but one thing they can't take away from me is my V card. But if you lost yours in a couch or on a Greyhound on the way to Mississippi, I got good news. You can buy yours back for 10% off using code PIMP. Neo understands something that AC Shadows never did, and that is how many buttons are on a controller. Remember when they said, oh, croissant, 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 ho, ho. Turns out Neo cracked that code with something called a single button press. Have you heard of this? Have you seen this? But we're not talking about Neo. That's next week. We're talking about Windrose. Windrose, and so did my nether regions. This game is beautiful.
Why did the insult machine suddenly give compliments?
People think I'm an angry guy. I'm not an angry guy. I'm a happy guy. I mean, I broke 3 mice playing this demo, but other than that, I'm a happy guy. Now let's dive into every way Windrose did down Skull and Bones. In Skull and Bones, you played as a boat with a stamina bar. A boat you couldn't get off.
Skull and Bones.
In
Yeah, but then
Windrose,
there's, like...
you can get off the boat. That makes this the 3rd greatest
Yeah, but you ever
pirate
played
game
fucking...
of all time.
Yeah,
There
this
really
guy's
aren't
never
that
played
many of these
fucking...
pimps. As for Neo, I promise we'll get
There's
to
a
it
free
next
game
week.
that's,
But how can I talk about
fucking
that when the
Black
new
Wake.
Xbox
You never
CEO
played
is
Black
saying
Wake,
AI
though?
will
What the
get
fuck?
people
Black
fucking
Wake is a
again?
fucking
Thanks to the flock of
pinnacle
pimps
of
for
fucking
bankrolling
CEO.
this video, and another huge thanks to
And,
everybody
the other
that's
one, the
using
fucking
code PIMP.
WoW
And to
looking
the legend that bought 3 boxes of V cards using the code...
Your boy ignored Black Wake and, what's the other? Sea of Thieves. Basically what that shit is. Windrose. How much is it? It's a demo right now. Okay. So how much are they gonna fucking charge you for this shit? This is another fucking data farming. This is more data farming slop. They're finally making games that are under 100 gigabytes. Like they should be under 5. They should be under 10. This is it looks like 30 gigs. That's before it's finished. It's like meh. What's Misery? Some rip off of what'd that game be? Where you could finish people off. Manhunt. Oh no, this is like okay, I see. Gopnik fucking post-nuclear nightmare. Stalker style. That's what I was trying to say. I mean that's cool, but I mean Black Pill the game. Oh. Again, Russian probably data mine. This one also shot data mine. Data miner, screen data miner for it. It's almost like a mobile slot. Oh my god, that's the song in the fucking trailer. Yeah, scream slop louder. What's the other one this guy was talking about? He's excited for.
Thanks to the flock of time. There really aren't that many. This the 3rd greatest pirate game of all time. There really aren't that many of these.
Okay. Okay. So he did call. He's probably talking. That's actually so. It's funny. I go back to that part. Reaction. That's so the first 2 are probably Black Wake and Sea of Thieves is what he's talking about. 3rd best pirate game.
No, I promise we'll get to it next week. But how can I talk about that when the new Xbox CEO is saying AI will get people fucking again? Thanks to the flock of pimps for bankrolling this every way Windrose did. 3 mice playing this demo.
Neo,
but
is
other
it
than
called?
that, I'm a happy guy. Now let's dive into every way Windrose
I
did
remember.
down
Neo.
Skull and Bones. In Skull and Bones, you played as a boat with a stamina bar. A boat you couldn't get off of. In Windrose, you can get off the boat.
Is Neo?
That makes this the 3rd greatest pirate game of all time. There really aren't that many of these pimps. As for Neo, I promise we'll get to it next week. But how can I talk about that when the new Xbox CEO is saying AI will get people fucking again? Thanks to the flock. I'll talk about time off the boat. That makes this the 3rd.
What the fuck? Neo game? Nio? Neo? Neo. Fuck is fucking another ninja game, bro? Come on. You're getting excited for more fucking ninja slop. You had Wukong. You had fucking whatever. Shadows Die Twice. Fucking the black one. What is this? Is this on Neo? Neo 3? Release February 6th. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I'm shitting and farting. I'm coming. It's so good. Neo is the 3 is a team. Blah blah blah. Neo 3 is an absolute must play and the best of the series. It's better than Wukong. It's better than Sekiro. How long was that? 44 seconds? 1 minute 15? They got cutscenes, okay. I mean, it's nice that they put cutscenes in. $90 worth of cutscenes, though. AI exists, buddy. Sorry to say. I can type Hey Rock. Do this. Do a photorealistic version of this. Yeah. Oh, deluxe edition, $150. Oh, please, please. Oh, my groceries are really cheap right now. Everything's really affordable right now. Straight Horror Moose isn't getting closed. Everything's not gonna implode. Conquer the Crucible. Don't look at the other 5 games that came out that are just like this. That just came out recently. All right. Okay. I'm not gonna do that then. Thanks. Big fucking props to Fleekazoid. Fucking legend. Let's go live.
You know, credit
These
to
These past few years,
Let's go live
it
with
is
the
evident that
Canadian
Canada
black
is not
pilling.
viewed as an attractive place to invest in resource development, manufacturing, or agriculture because of our high
black-pilled by my
carbon
games right
taxes,
now. Like, what the
endless red
fuck?
tape, and the
This takes.
uncertainty and chaos
This has to sync,
brought about
which is a
by
fucking
these and
nightmare.
other
Why
federal
does that
government
take so long to
policies.
sync? And
As a
then
result, Canada has fallen
this,
to dead
like,
last in
I guess
economic
they-
growth among industrialized
it's one of those
nations.
demos where they
This onslaught of
prevent you from playing it
anti-energy,
once they get the game going.
anti-agriculture, and anti-resource
What's,
development policies have
what's
scared
Gnomes
away
doing?
global investments to the tune of $500 billion,
Are
driving those
they almost done?
investments and jobs out of Alberta and Canada to much more attractive investment climates in the United States, Asia, and the Middle
it done?
East.
Is it-
Having traveled much of the world these past few years, it
That's good. I mean, it's so obvious. I mean, we say it all the time here. Energy is everything, and write it on the fridge too. Energy is everything, and cheap,
How
reliable.
is this not live?
This is not rocket science. This is not
It's not rocket
science.
appliances.
Yet, this is what the liberals are celebrating today. Hallelujah, brother.
it was
See what
yesterday.
it is? Was it yesterday? Well, hallelujah, brother. You're a day late. I'm a day late for church, I guess.
It's Boxing Day. It's the equivalent of Boxing Day today.
This one's good.
Carbon-
Yesterday was Christmas.
It's gonna be a slog. It's a
Carbon
fucking
removal
It's a
day.
replayable fucking.
It's carbon removal
RPG.
day, and then you think,
that's a nice number.
and this is it's an
That's what you wanna
emerging
see.
industry to remove carbon
This
dioxide out
one.
of the atmosphere, and it got a boost.
I installed
of
it. Haven't started it yet.
$100 million.
Also, again,
Your
Replayable.
taxpayer dollars going into projects that stymie our prosperity.
trying to
So
bang
again,
this one off
policies that
too.
benefit the few at the expense of the many.
But
You
then
stand
again,
in a
I
food
s-
bank lineup, and
I give up
somebody
all the time
got
because I
$100
don't
million
know. Like they're like,
to fill
yeah, my
their
main
pockets.
playthrough
Brookfield,
doesn't
the
count for
largest
achievements
investor
anymore. I don't
in
know.
climate
I don't know. It's because I
technologies.
used to do the
The federal government,
I
RBC,
did used to clone a
BMO,
lot of
Shopify among the founding members
gear
of
to get
what's
my
being
money,
billed
but
as the Advanced Carbon
people have way more
Removal
money than me.
Coalition. The coalition says its member aim to mobilize $100 million in new support for carbon removal
Exocrap, but this
projects.
one. Oh no, it was 2018.
Just stop already.
Yeah,
Just
maybe I should make a
stop.
new
That's
file.
from the
Which he
environment.
says, the all-important quote, Jim. There's real economic potential. We're gonna make loads of money. We're gonna capture CO2 from the atmosphere. Sorry,
Just
it's
make a fucking permadeath.
I
New
couldn't keep I couldn't
account.
keep steady there. That's very unprofessional. But
This
we're going
is
to capture
done. We beat
CO2
this
from the
game.
atmosphere, right?
Well, in terms of
And then we're going
achievements,
to bury it underground.
this you'd want to beat it with the
Yeah.
girlfriend.
And
That's our new industry.
it's
This game
the
is just in development
Scrooge
hell
McDuck
and
would
just
say it's the
just
best
pisses me off.
taxation
It's a sick
scheme
game.
ever.
It's fun, but
And
it's
the masses,
also
ones
could
still
play
buying into the
forever.
religion. The masses are going to scream for it.
Like,
They're going to
in
scream
dev
for it.
hell.
We're going to tax them,
Yeah,
right into poverty, and they're going to love it. They're going to absolutely
I do
love
like.
it.
I don't know why I enjoy it.
Meanwhile, we
It's
showed
just
you that
so good the
yesterday.
way they set it up. But
How in the out east there, they're giving
Just gotta think, like,
$260 million.
you make so much progress and then you just get
$260 million
fucked.
to a windmill
Unless you're
plant
backing your shit up.
and unicorns and rainbows to ex-liberal
Screen's good shit, but again, I played it, I loved it, and I didn't realize it's got
family
like
members,
fucking
like,
so much DLC. It's like, oh,
it's
bro.
absolutely ludicrous.
They announced new DLC. I was like, oh, cool, new DLC for this
this
game. As I
coalition.
start playing
And
it, and then it's
meanwhile-
like, oh,
Meanwhile,
there's
back at the
5
ranch,
other pieces of DLC that I have to get
Argentina
before that
Copper
one. I was like,
Venture hires
oh,
RBC
I'm
for a
good.
$630 million
I'm
project.
good, man. How about you just release your game and then do one big update, and that's it.
In
Start talking
Argentina.
over the boys, but really big show.
In
I
Argentina.
thought, aren't we jumping up and down and dancing all day long about the fact that
Are
there's
we
copper
there
here?
yet? Trying to beat that with the
Yeah.
I
girlfriend
thought that
and
was
her
like one of
brother.
those
20
super weapons.
20 years.
Secret weapons.
And
You
where are
keep
they
having
going? Here's
bad
another
luck.
one. You know, it's
South Park's
and
good.
they're
Oh
getting
yeah,
money
South
from
Park.
RBC Capital, which is a Canadian bank,
Yes.
and they're gonna start a mine, a 630 million copper gold
trying to
project in
remember
the
what quest.
Mendoza
I'm still
province,
trying to get.
Argentina. We all know who runs Argentina right now, Javier Milei.
Oh
And
yeah,
he's cut all the red tape. In Canada,
How do you mean?
we just put more red tape on top of the red tape, and then more red tape on top of the red tape, and then we create another. What's that called? Another government bureaucracy. How many so far? 4 this year already?
We have
4 new bureaucracies that get staffed with 600,000 plus salaries plus expenses. Then you get to travel around the
missing-
world and then get fancy bottles of wine. Go back and play
Oh,
that
we
clip.
only
I
do
think
one
we singled it out
achievement, and
yesterday. Go play that
it's
clip and get an insight into Mark Carney's head. Meanwhile, Milei is going to put Argentinians to work mining copper. The green stuff is copper. Copper turns green when it's exposed to the elements. And if you've been to Europe, many of the copper roofs there, a lot of the churches that have copper roofs, are all green. Copper turns
Statue of Liberty.
Copper turns a beautiful color of green when it's exposed to the elements.
over time. That's
But the RBC
more so
banker,
brass,
he knows how
but-
to make cash.
whatever.
Doubled his
Bronze, or is
bonus
it
the following
bronze,
year of record
brass?
earnings.
Brass,
So
I'm pretty sure it's
again, we
brass.
talked about this. Record earnings for the banks. You remember this now. They say a lot of the record earnings came from the spread. You know, the spread, what they borrow the money from the Bank of Canada and then lend it to you. And they made the spread wider because you, the sucker, pay more. And the banks in Canada.
So I mean, you say they borrowed it from the Bank of Canada. Another way to put that is they borrowed it from
That
all
is
of us.
copper.
They borrowed it from the country.
He's right,
and
it is
they've just
copper.
done
I'm
a
fucking
sweet
retarded.
deal.
Or
from
your
us to them.
deposits. Or your
Basically,
deposits.
like a donation from the state to a private company.
Just a
is what
copper
that
pot.
is almost the
Anyway, back to
equivalent of.
this. What
Correct.
are the
And then in
achievements on this?
Canada, the sign of sickness of Canada is our top 10
Swear,
10 companies on the TSX
Jesus,
by market cap. 6 of them are the banks, the 6 banks. The rent seekers, the parasites of the economy are the top 10 companies. 6 of them. Instead of the techs and stuff like that, the producers, the value adders. That's the shame. That's the shame. But that's what it's come to, regulation after regulation. And the banks have figured out a way to make sure their regulations protect the oligopoly. That's why they stymie. That's one of the 3 things that the Americans listed as the problem with Kuzma. The banking industry is too protected, the oligopoly. The Online News Act, which censors free press, which affects us, chokes us. And then the dairy cartel. Well, I shouldn't say dairy cartel. The supply management
socially
agreement here in Canada that And here you go. You talk about, remember when he ran as well? Talk about supply management. When Mark Carney ran, they were going to get rid of all the interprovincial trade barriers, except Quebec. Quebec's actually going to add some more. Quebec is moving ahead with plans to recognize Fromage en Grand de Quebec cheese curds as a controlled designation. That means you can make Quebec curds without Quebec milk. Quebec milk is the only way.
It's only
Because
Steve.
obviously
Okay.
Quebec cows are special, aren't they? I don't
Have you
don't
not
really know why.
Have you not seen
They are
those
special.
Have you not seen those Ontario cows?
Yeah. They're just not sophisticated enough,
Come
are
on,
they?
let's find these here.
These protection, these
Tell us
things
what it
make
is.
sense when
We've
you're talking
got
about
it.
like
We've got all these.
wine is the obvious one, isn't it? Because it's like often a grape has been developed according to one very specific microclimate in, you know, Champagne or something like that in France. Like it makes sense then because it's kind of like you can have a new world version of a French wine, but it's not going to be quite the same as that French wine because it's very specific to the geography. But when it comes to cows, I don't know, maybe it's something to do with the grass they eat. Quebec grass gives the cheese a very special flavor or something that can't be replicated anywhere else in the world.
I'm
just
going to
don't
say,
know.
Doug Ford said it. Melanie Jolie
I've
is
beat
the super
Princess
smart.
Kenny. What the fuck?
And she goes out there and she pets the cows, and the cows just deliver a much better class of milk because they're all enamored by, what did he say? That he also said some endearing qualities about her, right? So she is the cow whisperer or something. I don't know. It's like a clown show. But here's the clown show of all: climate religion. And then also, what comes with climate religion? Obviously, the archbishops and the bishops and the cardinals and the priests must get paid well so that they keep the religion alive. And here is some payment. We showed you this yesterday, but we figured, you know, with all the climate religion and the celebration today, and I even wore my special collar today to celebrate. This is from another conservative MP to my immediate and extended family. I love you, but don't expect a $231 million in government funding when I leave office. The only way to clean up all this corruption, waste, fraud, abuse, and to get answers for a lot of things and get some accountability is to change this government out. Vaccine files to be sealed for 15 years. No accountability on the Freedom Convoy said. And no accountability on these things. Stephen Guilbeault supposedly allegedly funneled $250 million into his own little coffers. No accountability. None. While you suffer because of climate religion, they prosper. Do you not see it? Do you not see it? Can you not see it? How do we like? You know, how do you see it? How do you see it if you can't see that yet?
Got Moon Crush.
How do you see it?
How do you see
And I'm
it?
gonna
How do
play
you
this.
see
Is
it?
the United States of America right now is the sitting chair of the UN committee, and here's they wouldn't like this speech here. This is Chris Wright. They sent Trump sent Chris Wright to speak as the president of the United States, because I doubt if Trump shows up for any of these. But for March, they have the voice of the chair, and here's Chris Wright here speaking on behalf of the United States. We're going to play a small clip. This is at the UN. And what do you think Chris Wright's going to speak about? Let's listen to Chris here.
We stand firmly behind the EU's drive for strategic autonomy in energy, reducing its dependency
Okay, it is socially transmitted distraction.
Okay, go
is
ahead.
It really?
on single sources and is poised to play
it
a
is,
pivotal
okay.
role in the EU's endeavor on diversifying and building resilient supply chains. This also highlights the importance of developing secure.
You know, I want Chris Wright, so somewhere in there. See his picture? I don't know. I think it's maybe it ran longer or something. See if you can find that clip and we'll keep going.
Okay, wait.
Does that make sense?
I just gotta have a game. Wait, it is socially transmitted distraction.
World, threatening international peace.
So I just gotta leave my game open to the public and then see if somebody will come in with
Exceptional men and
shit.
women of the American military. Their commitment.
Just gonna run around the game asking people to give me an STD. Hey, can you guys give me an STD?
This fella Hugh, if you're listening, Hugh, give it a rest, lad. You're being extremely boring. We don't like boring people here. Just try. I mean, you can be a malcontent and you can whine, but do it in an interesting way. This is not good enough.
Cake Trat. Cake Trat.
By the Iranian regime. For 47 years, this brutal dictatorship has spread chaos, death, and instability around the world, threatening international peace and economic opportunity for so many.
Just about a minute.
It is only fitting that the United States.
Yeah, just yeah, okay. You get it?
So tiresome.
And then, yeah, give it another whirl there.
This crucial conversation about critical minerals, energy, and resources. This topic is not merely economic. It is fundamental to prosperity and peace. That's why I've been clear. We need more energy, not less energy. And we need it now. Without affordable, reliable, and secure energy, nothing works. Energy is life. The absence of energy is poverty, despair, and death. It is how we grow our economies. It is how we innovate, power our daily lives, and secure our nations. Energy provides stability, competitiveness, and opportunities for a better future. In recent years, many
intelligent
governments
leaders.
have adopted aggressive climate policies. These policies, made in the name of climate change, have been unrealistic and poorly planned. The energy delusions implicit in climate policies represent real and growing threats to nations and peoples around the world. If I can elaborate,
that's good.
Only a billion.
I mean, it's so obvious and it's so painful, and the population suffers. The majority of the population suffers, while the elitists, like we showed you with the windmill thing there, enjoy riches while they take your tax dollars and stuff them into their pockets. And we've seen this over and over and over again. The climate gods, Bill Gates, Greta, and them have all moved on. And a lot of this has moved on. Many nations have moved on. And yet Canada still, to this day, seems to have a conflict of interest because Brookfield is the biggest investor in these climate policies. Mark Carney also chaired the Net Zero Alliance, which fell apart. And the reporters, the media, doesn't ask the questions.
Oh man, I'll be really impressed if you do this one.
Does not ask the questions. It's just embarrassing.
It's just binary thinking, isn't it? It's anything that happens on the sort of the green, climate-friendly side of things. It just has to be good. Nobody could possibly have any kind of sinister motives. And you know, there's nobody out there smart enough to see that this is just ripe for a scam.
Yeah, I mean, the comments, we love, we love to converse with people, but if you're going to come in here and just dive bomb the comments with just nutsy things and then start picking on people's, telling Ian to go back home, and then just go find somewhere else to go and be disruptive, because Canada's future is at stake. If this is the best you got to come here and disrupt something that's actually trying to change here, to actually call power to account, that's all you got. Is this nonsense? I don't know if you're hiding away in your basement eating Cheetos, calling your doctor and telling him that maybe your privates are turning orange because you just sit in your basement. But stop eating Cheetos; they're not good for you either.
I love having them in it. It's just I just wish they went I wish they went all stupid, so stupid. To be honest, like I would like to have a real conversation, but we always seem to attract these people who are just like. They're just very, very low grade, very low quality people. And it's kind of like, I'm starting to take it personally now. Like, I want a high grade critic to come in here so we can actually have a proper exchange of ideas. But instead, we're just getting these like absolute morons.
We hit the silence button on them so they can go and
it's a fucking chat,
concentrate on their Cheetos. And
focus on your show.
As opposed to trying to disrupt.
This is very unprofessional.
Change in this world. I mean, we really respect the people that come here on a regular basis, looking for answers and looking for a better tomorrow, because that's what we're trying to do. And I watched this, and the answers are simple. The answers are plain obvious, and this is what Mark Carney could be doing. If I was in this chair right now, I'd be doing the same thing. Here's Donald Trump, who gets nothing but grief from the CDC and that. Here's Donald Trump. They come to him. If the world has what we want, why are they not coming to us? Here's Donald Trump sitting at the White House here, and in the room with him is Google, Microsoft, XAI, SpaceX, Meta, to name a few of them that are in the room there. They're all building these AI data centers. They're all building AI data centers. And what did he say to them? You got to get your own energy, and you got to sign a pact. You got to sign a pact, a commitment that you will not raise the energy prices, or you will lower the energy prices for the citizens. Oh my, isn't that it? Like, it's for the people again. When are the politicians in Canada going to represent the people? It's because it seems like in Canada, they want to talk to you when they're getting their vote, and then as soon as they got your vote, they represent special interests only. And then you're not important. They actually make you seem like you're the bad person. Look in British Columbia, look in Ontario, look everywhere almost, and you're going to see politicians that represent special interest groups as opposed to the voting public. If I was running, Canada comes first, every Canadian comes first. Nobody gets anything more than a Canadian gets first. Nobody would ever get any more money or any special thing that a Canadian doesn't deserve first. Having a citizenship in Canada means you have the special privileges. It's your gold card. That's what I would say. That's your gold card. Nobody else gets a gold card before you.
Unfortunately, Jim, that is racist. And I'm going to call my friend Jason Stanley to come and explain why you're a fascist.
Awesome. I'll be waiting here.
I would say about this, though, as well, there's another point, we've looked at this a couple of times now. There's another point to be made here where Trump's saying, I'll protect ratepayers because I'll make sure that they build their own energy. But there's a very important background fact, which is that in America, especially in the red states here, so is he in Tennessee? Yeah. In the red states, you can build things. There's like, you know, you can just do stuff in America. So they actually will be able to build their own power generation facilities. If you said the same thing in Canada, that would be, you know, that would be the first thing you'd say. But then in the background would be, oh yeah, wait, we can't build anything. So it's like so in BC, for example, where they have done this kind of thing, it's like it's a double punishment. It's like, no, we're not going to do this for you. Do it yourself. And then they try and do it themselves, and then say, no, you can't build anything. Of course you can't. This is British Columbia. We don't build things here. You know, it's that double blow, isn't it? Whereas in America, it's like, no, leave the sort of household electricity alone. Make your own power plant. You can go and build it over there. There's a nice spot. On you go. And then it'll be approved, and they'll do it.
So here, put this chart up. There's BC's electricity trade monthly by month for the last 3 years. And and there was Fortis, I think it was about a year and a half ago now, came with hat in hand and said we would like to build an LNG peaker plant here in the Okanagan because we need more electricity. Here's a company that is providing electricity for its citizens here. And the BC NDP and Adrian Dix said, no LNG, not allowed. Find a unicorn and make the unicorn cough out electricity. So your electricity rates can go up, because look at this. Look at this chart. Burn this one into your retina. This is the Liberal and NDP way. This is it. The blue bars is when British Columbia makes excess electricity. The red and orange bars on the below the chart there are when we import it from Alberta in the United States. The same Americans that EBU is going to shut the highway down on them so they couldn't travel to Alaska. And they could just as easily turn off our lights here. Just like, looks like we take a lot from them.
We missed, the Desert Fox missed the other video that I had there of Doug Ford. Because you reminded me when you talked about that highway. Doug Ford's talking about that bridge.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the Gordie Howe Bridge. He's saying, if they don't open that up soon, we're going to toll anybody going on the Ambassador Bridge. We're going to make it happen. So it's like, again, in the sort of like making threats to people who have massive amounts of leverage over you and expecting that to pay off.
We don't have the chart.
One.
We don't have the chart where the Alberta energy goes down through the United States and over to Ontario and back up, where they could just say, not so much.
Line 5.
Yeah, not so much. And again, Canada, here it is, world's biggest polluters. Again, we're putting this up every day so to remind you. World's biggest polluters. Canada, not on there. But the archbishops and the Pope and everybody want you to sacrifice your prosperity and have your children go without so that the elites can fill their pockets with windmills and unicorns and rainbows. It's just atrocious. And yet not one of these media outlets to take your money, over $2 billion a year between all the media outlets, over $2 billion a year the media outlets, gorge at your taxpayer money and feed you nothing but propaganda and do not hold this government to account. It's embarrassing. They should all be embarrassed of what they do. Because they're the ones responsible for the people standing in food bank lineups. They're the ones responsible because they won't do the stories, they won't hold this government to account. They won't do it. We'll do it. This is our opportunity, I guess. And again, burn this one in your retina again. Canada's middle class, richest in the world. You don't have it? We don't have the tech. There we go. Boom! Just like that, eh? Canada's middle class, richest in the world. Back when pigs flew in Canada. Now they want a gene alter the pigs take their wings away, I guess. I don't know. Sorry, I'm getting punchy now because...
Well, it is very sad, isn't it? I mean, it's pretty heartbreaking. Somebody here is asking me about the British passport thing. Yeah, there's this big. I don't know if anyone's seen it. There's this big story because the British have said if you're a British citizen, you can only come into Britain with a British passport. Kind of makes sense. A lot of other countries do that anyway. I think Canada does that. But yeah, loads of people are really upset because now they have to buy their British passport. But I can't say I'm particularly bothered. But this person, I assume, Pinto, whatever, I assume is British. And it's quite interesting because so many immigrants from Britain have come to Canada. It's interesting when we're looking at this story here. When Canada was just like this golden land of opportunity that so many people wanted to come to. Around about this time as well. It's like I'd be quite interested to hear from some of them. I still personally think that Canada is just like vastly better than Britain, and economically as well. But there are people who maybe came to Canada around like the Stephen Harper years, came to Canada in like 2010, 2011 or something. It must be a terrible downgrade, I'm sure.
To all our members, don't forget at noon, Ian and I are going to be on, and we're going to have a session just with members. So if you're not a member, you want to consider joining, hit the join button. So at noon, if you're a member, you can come back and watch that. It'll be a live stream just for members. And then plus you can watch it later. It'll be available, like the other member videos are available after. You can listen to us rant or do whatever. But that former CBC journalist is going to be in front of committee on March 10th. And he's daring the CBC to play it. Listen to this.
You know, I have been trying to rebuild my life and my career on this very set after my career in journalism ended in a very public way at the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. Now, I've told part of that story here, but because of ongoing legal proceedings, I couldn't name names, I couldn't connect the dots, I couldn't lay out who made which decisions and how they were justified behind closed doors. And for months, That silence has worked in the CBC's favor. They have denied everything up until this point. They've tried to control internal and external messaging about the situation and about me. They've tried to discredit me. They've tried to let the story fade, hoping to run down the clock, hoping the professional consequences would break me. Now, I'm battered and I'm bruised, much more than most will ever know, but I am not broken. And I am not shutting up, because this story matters. Next Tuesday, I will testify before a parliamentary committee studying fairness in media. Now, I won't be able to say everything because my ongoing human rights case is before the commission, but I will be able to name names, describe decisions, and paint a better picture about what happened inside the CBC. And I promise in the weeks to follow, more will come into focus. Now, I know this story has become partisan. Some want the CBC dismantled, others defend it wholeheartedly. I'm a hero to some, a villain to others. But my mission has never been to destroy the CBC. It's about whether a $1.5 billion public broadcaster plays by the rules it lectures everyone else about. So let me speak right now directly to my old boss, the Brody Fenlon, the editor-in-chief of CBC News. Brody, hey there, it's been a while. If CBC believes in transparency, then prove it. On March 10th, carry the hearing live. No edits, no summaries, no carefully curated clips. There is a lot of news going on right now, I understand that, but CBC does have a website. They have, from what I understand, a YouTube channel, so stream it there if you have to. Let Canadians hear the names. Let them hear about the documents, the practices, the way things run behind the scenes when the cameras are off. Let them judge for themselves and decide what they believe. Well, if CBC won't do that, well then independent media, do your thing. Because facts matter. This story matters. Because I assure you,
independent media, do your thing. Only after I try to do it
first. 2026 is the year in media because the mainstream media has lost its way, and he's going to expose some things that most people already know, and it'll drive it home for some people, but a lot of people just won't see past the Kool-Aid they've been drinking, and CBC will run some cover stories for it. That's not cool. And it's embarrassing what the CBC has done. It's embarrassing what they all have done. Global is a shell of itself. They don't have hardly anybody left there. Their stock is 3 cents, and they were a shell, and they take money. CTV, I guess you could say that there's some good journalists.
I didn't realize it was asking me to do a thing there.
Best of the three, but they're just as bad. They're basically a mirror. And CP, they're not telling. They don't represent Canada's voice. They do not represent Canada's voice. They do not represent Canadians. Do not hold power to account. They're the ones, they're used as shield and spear by this government to protect them and to thwart the democracy here in Canada. And here it is, somebody else putting this out here saying, CBC, I mean, Pierre Poilievre doesn't run against Mark Carney. He runs against Mark Carney plus the BBC, CTV Global. I mean, we said it all the time. They are used as shield and spear. A shield to block accountability for the Liberals, and a spear to attack the Conservatives. It is absolutely atrocious what they do.
That first line is excellent, isn't it? In Lionel Talbot's tweet here. Is it normal that almost all journalists constantly hit the opposition and give the ruling party a pass on everything? And as he knows himself,
in Canada, yeah. Yeah, in Canada.
Supposed to be exactly the other way around. But yeah, we live in a very, very strange land.
And then we played this yesterday, we're not going to play it again today, but CBC's television numbers, abysmal. Abysmal, absolutely abysmal. And they're losing audience. The cost of viewership on the CBC continues to rise.
They have gotten this,
as their viewers drop and their revenues increase. And then another pillar of accountability here, and we talk about this over and over again, is the PBO's office. And the Carney government seems more than pleased or happy to leave that office vacant here. And Polyev is calling him for to hire Jason Jackson right away. So,
All you have to lose is your life.
will it happen? It's shameful.
Chickened out, huh?
I don't know if
he's been given the scarlet letter, hasn't he? He's out. He's out of the inner circle. They want to burn him and punish him.
Here's our
it's
fraud.
It's just unlucky that he didn't. He was maybe naive, poor fella. He didn't quite realize how
Here's our fraud.
ruthless and scummy politics actually is.
Here's our fraud, waste, abuse, incompetence. You decide section. A lot of this brought to you by Holly Dome, the black box there. AI layoffs are here, and we did that in our predictions 2026. Layoffs are going to be huge, especially in the banking industry that makes record profits, and they don't care about their people either. Layoffs due to artificial intelligence are already underway.
Yeah, I have the Necro card.
This is one of the country's largest unions, and that's the Canadian Union of Public Employees. QP members are reporting AI used in many sectors, including healthcare, energy, universities, and colleges. Yeah, basically every job that's sat down in front of a computer is at risk here. Is at risk, and the unions will fight tooth and nail to keep everybody there. And Canadians, one in four people work for the government in some way, shape, or form. That is not a sign of a healthy economy as well. Way too many people are drawing off the taxpayer. You can't have. You run out of like like if you have all the leeches sucking the blood out of the animal. Soon there's not enough animal to suck blood from. You know what I mean? Like you run out of animal.
Okay, bud. Let's go, old man.
We won't win this.
Cognitive decline is real on this.
Oh, maybe we will. 30K.
I would just say, just as an add on this one, yeah, AI. Just to add to that, the jobs that seem to be getting that, affected mostly by this are the jobs that everybody was told to strive to obtain, like software developer, like financial analyst, and things like that. Where you have to go, jobs where you had to go to university and learn how to do like differential equations and advanced calculus and stuff like that. You just get a very, very cheap piece of software now can do that. You don't need like $100,000 education or whatever to do that sort of thing now. It's which I'm looking at the picture that they've got there. I don't know what that is exactly, but it looks somewhat scientific or mathematical. But it's like, this is not what people quite expected, is it? That these would be the jobs that would be annihilated. And yeah, banks, lawyers, they are being culled.
You got to get your hands dirty. Trades, electricians, welders, plumbers, all that kind of stuff. The ones they made fun of. And those are where those guys are going to make money. Those men and women, I know lots of people getting into. Actually, one of our reporters here left here and is gone back to school to become.
I don't know. I'm hearing rumors from tradies even that are saying don't become a tradie.
She's gone back to trade school to become a plumber. So good for her. I said, hey, good for you. Canadian Human Rights Tribunal. We've seen what they did there to that person in BC, but Human Rights Tribunal has awarded an Alberta truck driver $30,000. And damages for discrimination because he said he was harassed at work after suffering an injury. Doubting the severity of the injury, name-calling and swearing at the complaint were serious enough to create a poisoned work environment. And that's for Jennifer Orange, the adjudicator. The award included $15,000 in special damages and another $15,000 for pain and suffering. I'm not going to get this. Gurbakish Singh of Edmonton was 5 weeks on the job with First Call Trucking when he injured his hand at work and required surgery. Singh's manager, also of South Asian ancestry, complained he wanted to fire the driver, but could not because he would owe thousands of dollars to the WCV.
Gurbakish, I would say is how you pronounce that. For my money.
And then Holly Doan was going to get all those files from the Crown on the Kamloops First Nations there for the residential school. The Department of Crown Indigenous Relations has censored as confidential its file. Remember, they're going to seal the records, and then Holly Doan complained and said and then they were ordered to give them. So now what you get, there's what you get. Black ink. You get a page, here's the document. That's what we've got a few of those FOIs. When we do FOIs, that's what we get sometimes. It's just that. There you go. Happy now? So the department yesterday released the censored reports from First Nations filed regarding the work on the missing children. All details were redacted as confidential. They just play games. The court says release the documents. There they are.
Can't. It's against Vatican law.
Was it 15 years they were going to seal them? Now they just sealed them with redactions. The reports date from 2023, 2 years after the announced discovery of what claimed to be 215 children's graves in an orchard. The First Nation at the time received over $8 million from what became a $12 million grant to coordinate engagement, investigation, and commemoration activities related to the 250 missing children and burial sites. And then so she fought for those records, and that's what you got. This is a government of accountability and transparency. This is the liberal way. PBO canceled, that canceled. Just, we're gonna kind of go through a couple of things because we're gonna get.
I think if they definitively proved that there were no bodies there, or that they weren't, maybe there were bodies but they weren't associated with the residential school, whatever it is, if they sort of categorically proved that this was all wrong, do you think that they would give the money back then?
What do you think?
It's just a very interesting question that I think is at the heart of this entire story. And right down to those black lines, the black blocks hiding out that text. I think that is the question. And if you can think of the answer to that question, you can answer every other question associated with this story.
Just in the interest of time, I'm going to miss that next one there. And then, but this one here, a Canadian influencer, Nancy Grewal, 45, who had about 100,000 followers, was critical of Palestinian separatists, stabbed to death outside her Windsor home. Palestinian.
That's the Sikh state.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of talk that they actually run our ports here too, BC. But hey, she was stabbed 18 times to death.
Gross. I just want to respond. Canada, whatever his name is, Canada XB360, Xbox 360, I guess is what that is supposed to mean.
Xbox.
He's just saying, or she is just saying that the AI thing is kind of overblown. That it's a supporter and not a replacement of. When he's talking about IT, because he works or she works in IT. It's not mature enough to replace our jobs. Yeah. Okay. You're probably you're probably quite experienced, aren't you? You know your onions, and therefore you, I'm sure, can direct Claude or whatever it is to do things that like an intern couldn't do. They couldn't direct it to do that. So I think it's those jobs. That's from all my reading on this topic, including like the actual facts of about layoffs. It's the people. It's like the interns who are being laid off, not the big boys like yourself or whoever it is. People with like 10, 20 years experience, they can be the ones using AI, can't they, and replacing the the interns. And I see Shannon here. Shannon said something earlier on. We're calling everyone out here. But Shannon said something earlier on about that Slantis is not involved in that thing. I believe. I'll have to check. But I believe they are still officially about, what is it, 49% or something? They still officially have that stake. They're trying to sell it, but I'm not sure it's actually gone through yet. So, just purely factually, I think that's kind of up in the air. But also, and I think you mentioned it was ages ago, I can't remember exactly what you said, but they've agreed some kind of arrangement where they buy what's produced there. So they're still very much involved. But I think they are actually still officially, they still have their stake. Because it was only a few weeks ago that they announced that they were getting out of there.
There you are, Cartman.
But yeah,
The new kid is OP.
taken
I
anyway.
told you guys this would happen.
So we got an invite here from Brian. He says if the woke world ever takes over, and he says we're invited in the chat group to visit his hut, and he's going to make the booze, and it won't take much to get drunk because we'll be so thin. I do remember how to fish and hunt, so I do remember from my youth.
Chance that I'll show you what I've looked at there. That's what I looked at from Stellantis' website, where they explain it. This is the last formal announcement that we have on this. So they're trying to sell it, but whether or not, you know, I don't think it's been officially announced yet.
You know, the danger in all this is a lot of this stuff that's really important, like the Chinese deal, gets kind of pushed down, you know, Operation Epic Fury, you know, the trips abroad. And here's Michael Cooper, we had him on the show, bringing this back to attention, the Chinese deal and the secret police thing here that we still haven't seen the paperwork. Let's listen in on Michael Cooper.
Oh yeah, lots of them. Yeah, secret police.
Is hiding from Canadians the full extent of his so-called strategic partnership with China. He sold it as a trade deal, but in fact, there's much more to it. Carney's partnership includes an agreement on law enforcement cooperation, whereby the RCMP will work hand in hand with Beijing's Ministry of Public Security.
Yeah, the
This
CCP
should set off
fucking
alarm
police,
bells.
yeah.
After all, the Beijing regime has no regard for the rule of law. They don't respect due process. They don't have an independent judiciary. There is no civilian oversight of
Uyghur
police,
camps,
and they
it's
have an
fucking
atrocious human
gulags.
rights record. For Beijing, the overriding objective of law enforcement is to advance the interests of the Chinese Communist Party.
I'm
This
pressing
is a
G,
regime
what the
that
hell?
routinely uses law enforcement as a means for intelligence gathering and for political oppression. Criminal labels are frequently applied to political targets, not only in China, but around the world, including in Canada. Beijing's Ministry of Public Security is actively involved in foreign interference and transnational repression activities on Canadian soil. Chinese police have set up multiple illegal police stations in Canada to harass and intimidate Chinese
Now we're gonna make them
Canadians.
legal?
Chinese
Great.
police operating illegally in Canada have even forced the repatriation of Canadians back to China. According to a recent report of the National Security and Intelligence Committee of Parliamentarians, Chinese police have gone so far as to pay agents to locate and track Canadians critical of a Beijing dictatorship. This is happening in Canada. Madam Justice Hogue, who headed the public inquiry on foreign interference, concluded that Beijing is the most active perpetrator of foreign interference in Canada. In the face of all of that, it is no wonder that less than a year ago, Mark Carney stated the obvious.
I think the biggest security threat to Canada is China.
But now, Mark Carney wants to partner with Canada's biggest security threat on matters of security. If there was any area that Canada should not be cooperating with Beijing on, it's on security and law enforcement matters. Don't just take my word for it. 10 Hong Kong diaspora.
But anyway, ni hao.
Have sent an open letter to Carney
Welcome to our new
expressing
overlords.
fear and anxiety about this agreement. Targeted communities
As long as I get
are
maximum
understandably
good boy
worried
points,
that
I
Beijing
don't
will
care.
use this agreement to expand its transnational repression activities in Canada under the guise
As long as I got a high score society
face
point.
legitimate fears from communities targeted by Beijing. Mark Carney's silence about this agreement has been deafening.
That's
There hasn't.
Fuck right off.
And yet, this is what we focus on
what is
in
going
House
on?
Commons.
Jump,
So they're
click.
trying to- this is Andrew Law.
I just tried to do that 3 times and there's something wrong with
breaking.
it.
The Liberals have put a motion on the notice in the House Commons to cut off debate on Bill C-9.
I'm gonna cheese these cunts.
Just be
I should have been
censoring the
puking
censorship
before
bill.
anyway.
We do have John Carpe joining us, and we'll leave that for Monday. John
Carpe
of the
diem.
Justice Center of Constitutional Freedoms is joining us on Monday, and we can talk about that. But I mean, we've talked about Bill C-9 with him in the past, but it's just every little trick they can do seems like they're gonna do
There
it.
we go.
Yep.
And I put
I'm
this
still
one
on
in here, and
fire.
this is in the UK. They're offering.
My
to
fire,
pay
this is bad, this is
people-
real bad.
This is the Home Secretary offering to pay people that are trying to get asylum and 40 pounds, 40,000 pounds to leave. It's a pretty good deal, no? You want to play this?
Not bad.
Let's play this clip here from your jolly old homeland.
Today that you're offering £40,000 of taxpayers' money to families of
40,000
failed asylum seekers who agree to go quietly, not contest.
That's insane. What?
An idea that you've got from Denmark. But what is the possible moral justification for handing a sum greater than the median disposable income?
Come over, yeah.
You can see it here.
It's about as much as the average person makes a year.
How is that moral?
What the fuck?
We've got to enforce our law. Look, I know it sticks in the craw of people, and you know, it's not something that you feel absolutely automatically comfortable with. But let me explain why this is the right thing to do. We already incentivize people with a small sum of money to leave the country because it's the cheapest option by a long way. So
Wow. So you're saying that the government has a program that costs them more than $40,000 and fucks up, and then they have to spend another. They have to save face by sending a minimum of at least $40,000 to fix their mistake. That's cost them probably more than $40,000 in the first place. And if they do any other solution, it's going to cost them more than. That's ridiculous. And the double speak retardation is that.
Test this new approach. Small set of families who are failed asylum. That's
good. That's good. Can you just think of the scam right now? Take the money, leave, get on a boat,
come back.
Yeah. Take the money.
Come on back.
Yeah, that's genius.
In
Especially when you have Mohammed, blah blah blah.
Failed asylum
How many of these
seekers
people
get
are?
more benefits
How many of
than
these
Canadians.
social workers
Again,
are
if I was
fucking
running the show,
vetting people and sussing people out?
I would say you get
You look
nothing.
like the other
Yeah.
Mohammed I
Because Trump
just
has
dealt
done
with
deals and he said, take
2
your
years
people
ago.
back.
No, different guy.
Or
Give me my 40 grand, I'll leave, no problem.
take them back because he has ways to make things happen. In Canada,
He just says "oh." Yeah, that's
yeah,
it.
or and the people are asleep. And the first
I
one
would
to
say
fall.
like she's talked about Denmark, and I've talked about Denmark on here a number of times, and there's a couple of other countries, but the Danish, they have a left-wing government, or a government that calls itself left-wing. That's
Carmen's like glitched
very
out.
strong on the border, very strong on immigration, and they've pulled this off, and it's based on data that the Danes have, but also the Brits have, and Canadians have, most countries have, which is that sort of per person, people from, like, they categorize immigration from certain parts of the world, so from like Asia and Africa, people from those parts of the world who migrate to the West are almost always in their lifetimes a net drag, like a net loss. If you just look at it in purely economic terms, you don't think about culture or whatever the hell it is, or value of what they do outside of money. If you just look at money, they're in the negative. And that's what prompted the Danes to do this, because they looked at that and they thought, hold on, if we give them like this much money, whatever it is, the equivalent of like £40,000, then we will save that much in like this many years, and it might just be 2 or 3 years. And then if we factor in that they're not going to be here for the next 40 years or 50 years, then it keeps adding up, and it becomes, you know, this is very much your line of work, isn't it? It's like an accountant would see why this makes sense, because it's like, oh, okay, well, this is an amazing investment then. We're going to save lots of money. But yeah, it doesn't. Trevor Phillips there, the guy who's interviewing her, he's pointing out something. It's like there's a moral question here, isn't there? Like, why? How are we supposed to swallow the idea that we can give these people money to bugger off?
Why are we giving tuitions to 100 million in tuitions to people from India to come in here, and then pay them later to leave? Like, what is going on? Well, this is the biggest disruption in Trump's cabinet so far. I think about a year, a little bit in now. Kristi Noem out at DHS, being replaced, by a Senator Mullen there. I think they have to probably get him confirmed. But Noem will become the special envoy for the Shield of America. I guess Kristi got herself in a little bit of trouble there with some spending in that $200 million ad that she ran. She kind of did a Doug Ford ad, apparently, where she put herself prominently in the ad, like Doug's ad the other day. She put herself prominently in the ad, riding a horse in that, you know, and $200 million bucks. And they asked her in committee if, because they have consequences, and she lied in committee. In Canada, you can lie in committee all you want. You don't even answer. give roundabout answers, right? And she lied in committee and said that Trump was aware. And I guess DJT didn't like that. He said, get on that horse and ride off.
I just want to call attention to the fact that this guy is called Mark Wayne, and that's one word. Mark Wayne. I've never seen that before, but I'm quite impressed. I think that means he's going to be the real deal.
Yeah, he's. I saw him in a couple of hearings, and one of his hearings, you know, a Democrat challenged him, and he said, "Let's go right now." He said, "We can go outside, we can go right here, we can go wherever you want to go." Because the guy was trying to pick off with him.
Yeah, didn't realize that was Mark Wayne.
Yeah, not the Wayne you're talking about there. Mark Twain? Mark Wayne? More like John Wayne.
Mark Twain Mullen. That's what he should be called.
But here it is. This is our joke. We haven't had a lot of jokes at the end of the show, but we have a joke here. So at noon, we're going to be back in about an hour here for our members only. So if you're a member, come back at noon, or you can watch it later. But we're going to have a members only at noon, you know, like 15, 20 minutes. And we try to put a little joke and have a little levity. And this is the end of the week. This is our last show of the week. Busy last weekend, though. That's the start of the war last weekend. Operation Epic Fury started on the weekend. Started on a Saturday. And I don't know, like, we're talking about how to cover some stuff on Saturdays and that. We're trying to do more polls and that. We'll talk about it more in our member thing. I want to get forward here. You can have some say on the show and guests in that, too, if you're a member. But I'm going to end it with this. Tony got this guest. This is pretty funny. I thought it was funny. Listen to this. This is Vietnamese grandma.
Oh, really? Well, why? What do you think about Donald Trump?
I love Donald Trump. He's strong. He said he'd do what he'd do with it.
Oh.
Yeah. You don't like him?
No, I voted for Joe Biden.
You took on those adults. You're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Never was it.
And then I voted for Kamala.
Never voted for Democrat. No one.
You don't like Kamala?
No, she a poo-poo.
She a poo-poo.
The last line was definitely the best.
Which one? She a cuckoo?
Yeah, cuckoo.
No, I'm smarter than her.
I'm smarter than her.
Because it's true. That's why it's the best line.
We gotta send Vietnamese grandma here the Jolie clips and see what she has to say about that. Oh man.
I'm not gonna dare do the accent myself. I like my accent, but I'm not gonna do that now.
I had a clip there of Kamala. She's gonna go down in the. She's gonna be a meme for a long time. She owns it. So any feedback on our new background? Anything? Anybody want to say anything? God bless her. I agree with you there. God bless her. We need to get rid of the godless media. We need media that holds power to account. We can't be having the government dole out money to the media. It's absolutely atrocious. We need them held accountable. And any guesses on which side of the Operation Epic Fury the Canadian government's going to be on next couple
China's,
days?
Russia's.
Back to international law, maybe. Maybe that's going to be the next thing. We're going to send the Coast Guard there, and they're going to observe, and they're going to write up a legal dossier for submission to the International Criminal Court. Maybe that's it. And then we'll also arrest Netanyahu.
That biggest scandal right now is the Canada Natural Resources Board.
20 dark matter, that's what we're here for.
Where they're walking away because of the industrial carbon tax. That's it, man. That's it. Canada has this, and I've said it on this show many times. Opportunities squandered here. We have what the world wants. That's obvious. That's obvious. See how they take a half-truth? We have what the world wants. But we're not letting anybody get at it. That's what the Liberals blocked. You know, all those regulations that blocked it are still blocking it. It's obvious. It's painfully obvious. And if you look at British Columbia as a prime example, that chart there should be just listed right under as David Eby's CV. And you should put that on his resume and say, this is what I did to British Columbia. This is what I did to British Columbia. And this is what you'll get. More of this you'll get from me. because it continues to block prosperity here in British Columbia. It'd be different if British Columbia was energy poor. We didn't have any opportunities. Like, you can pull up that decision. You can go on our website, cornerow.com, you can check it out. Where they said no to Fortis that wanted to build a peaker plant here for LNG. No. No. But now apparently LNG we can sell to the rest of the world. Well, we can't sell it. That port now is tied up in courts now too. 70% built. How will we get anything done in Canada here if we don't get rid of the bureaucracy? I don't know. We're now taking applications for Saskatchewan Coast Guard. Okay. Anyway. Jason Kenney wants to run again for something. Jason Kenney, poor Jason Kenney. He doesn't know who he is.
Gotta do something.
We're back at noon, me and Ian, for members only. And then we're back Monday morning at 9 a.m. and John Carpe will be joining us on Monday to talk about a few things, including the, while we're having him on, is to do with the signing over of Vancouver. And David Eby now has said that he didn't know anything about it. Now he says, love it. And that's the only way to move forward.
Yeah. If you're against it, you're against reconciliation.
You're against it, as George, what's his name? George W. Bush said, either with me or against me. Anyway. Cheers, everybody. We'll see some of you at noon, and we'll see the rest of you 9 a.m.
Afternoon. Okay, cool. Members. What should we get? We got a decent amount, 300-ish. 860.
A real impressive load.
Load of shit, 285. I thought we got 3. Whatever.
Okay, everyone have...
So it should technically unlock. It's the floor is hot lava, right?
Oh, hey, kid. I've been working on something. Check this out. All you have to lose is your life. I love a good challenge. I hope you do too.
It's backyards with floors hot lava.
Hey, new kid. I started playing the new game with everyone, and it's fun, but do you think it's kind of too easy? Yeah, I thought so too.
Too much work. How much should we put?